Good morning, YouTube people. I haven't vlogged in forever. Not really forever, just a couple weeks. TV, lady. Um, so I'm not home. I'm in Detroit, wherever that is. I think that's country. It's not. It's a city. Um, I don't have a lot to talk about. I'm getting home in like a week, I think. And I might start this whole Cam Rambles thing that you are smudging like a curmudgeon. Question mark. Yeah. Hey there. This is my Uncle Max. He's a sweet thing. He's a bullhound or something. I don't know what he is. So yeah. Cam Rambles, I might start that next week. I don't really know for sure. Summer's like almost over already. Isn't that crazy? I look like a bum. I look like I just walked in off the street. I haven't shaved in years. Anyway, the point is, this vlog is about nothing, and I keep rambling. I'm really tired. I haven't been sleeping for the past, decade, but I sleep a little worse here because the air is different or something, and it upsets my allergies. Also, yesterday, I bought this new book full of controversy. It just came out yesterday. Go Set A Watchman, which is the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird, and it's awesome. And you wouldn't, okay. It's not awesome because of the new development in the characters. Spoiler alert. Have I given you enough time to just close the video if you're not ready? Cool. Atticus is a racist. Where'd that come from? It's crazy. But it's the point, kinda, Because, when I heard that, I, looked him up on the internet, and he's, the second most influential fictional character in America's history, or something like that. He's on so many lists of influential, the best fictional characters, the most moral fictional characters, because he defended this innocent black man in a rape case in To Kill a Mockingbird. I don't know, I'm just talking about literature now, because I can. And now he's a bigot. What's going on? It is kind of crazy. This is sort of my review of it, but kind of not. It's kind of crazy that, that happens. But at the same time, kind of makes sense. Scout, the main character, some of you, it's been a long time since freshman year when they made you read, TKAMB. I think that's how it's initialed. Whatever, I don't care. I do. Anyway, it's different because Scout, main character, it's been 20 years or something. 18, 20 years. She's 26 now. And, things are different. She views the world differently. And, that kind of makes sense. Because everybody's read To Kill a Mockingbird, basically, in America. They make you read it. You know the story. And they make you read it in middle school. At this point, the people who read it are older. They have different outlooks on life. There are different events happening in the world, race-related, very much so, that this book really pertains to in weird ways that you wouldn't expect. But Scout, who doesn't go by Scout anymore, has to deal with this new revelation about her father, who was this moral, upstanding citizen, who just the moral center of the universe, kind of. And that's another theme besides the racial element, is that our heroes are flawed people because she is having a crisis with her father, having these flaws and these moral problems that apparently the rest of America is just as troubled by that. It's nuts, really, the backlash this book has gotten for, in my opinion, being good literature. Because that's what books are supposed to do. They challenge you. They challenge the characters. They challenge the morals that the book is trying to, push at you. And that's the point of this book. The point is that, in a weird way, like when Harper Lee wrote this book, she wrote it 2 years before she wrote To Kill a Mockingbird. There are a lot of flashbacks to when the main character was a kid, which is, she showed that to her publisher, and the publisher's like, alright, screw this book, write a book about this. Write a book about when she was a kid. Make all these flashbacks one linear novel. We'll keep some of the themes. Some of the themes from To Kill a Mockingbird are in Go Set A Watchman, which is this. See, it even has Harper Lee on it. Isn't that awesome? I am very proud of this book. Anyway, it's not a good thing that he's a bigot. It's not a good thing at all. It's a horrible thing. Sorry if you're a bigot, I guess. But, that's not good. That's not the kind of thing that Scout wanted in her hero. That's not the kind of thing that America wanted in their hero. But that's what this is. These books are supposed to be, this is real life, honestly. That's what life is like. Probably could, if anybody actually watched this, I would get spat on for biblical references, but you have, King David, alright? He was one of the big shots of the Old Testament and all that. He was a really great, I guess. He fought for God and all that. At the same time, spoiler alert, I guess, for the Bible, he had a thing for one of his lieutenant, I think, one of his soldiers' wives, so he had that soldier killed, and he stole the wife. It is very bad, the kind of stuff you wouldn't expect, but, everyone has flaws, Atticus is almost a one-dimensional character in To Kill a Mockingbird just because he doesn't do anything wrong, he's a moral center, which is fine, and you want that, but you also want something to fight against that, and that's what is happening in Go Set A Watchman, that everybody hates, but is really a good thing that makes his character better, almost, because he fought for this man because he knew he was innocent, even though he didn't agree with him, I guess you could say, which is a testament to his character. At the same time, like I've said about 10 times, he's a bigot. Not good. It's so weird, though, how much backlash she's getting, and this isn't even a sequel to To Kill a Mockingbird, and, she wrote this before. She had no, inkling that it was going to be a success, that this book was even going to be published. It was apparently missing for 50 years. It's insane, because this is what you want from literature. This is almost what a follow-up had to be, in my opinion, as someone who wants to write books himself and to make a difference with them. Definitely not in the way that To Kill a Mockingbird has, because that's, impossible, but it's made a huge difference in society. There's a reason they make everybody read it. Everyone in America has read it, pretty much. You don't really have a choice. They make you or they fail you, and there's a reason for that, because it's classic literature. It has a point, and I'm telling you, Go Set A Watchman is also literature. It also has a point. No one is perfect. We realize that at the same time that the main character of this book does. Scout, Finch. We realize that because it's Atticus for, 50 years? 60 some odd years of being the best literary hero America has ever offered is a very common opinion, but there's gotta gotta be more. Like, this is the point, you know? Sort of. It's a weird thing to say, but it kind of, in my opinion, it expands on the themes of the original book in a very important way, because it needed to happen, sort of. Do you understand? Probably not. No one's watching this anyway. But I'm freaking out. I'm only like, oh no, I'm more than halfway. I'm probably Cats, Don, Donald Trump, toupees. You seen that? Never mind. Anyway, just heard a lot of controversy about this book. Drove me a little nuts. I'm a third of the way through it. I got it yesterday. Stayed up late last night reading it. Got up early this morning reading it. It's really good. Like, even if you somehow have not read To Kill a Mockingbird, so, like, I guess if you flunked out of 7th grade, sorry. I mean, you can still read it. You're still gonna get stuff off of it because it's not a sequel. It's not the point. Really, I think that Harper Lee, I know there are all kinds of questions about, she's not doing very well, health-wise. It was just found recently after she had a stroke or something. Her health isn't good. They don't think she's mentally sound, which I mean, it's her work. Arguably. Everyone's like, oh, somebody else wrote this, and they just said Harper Lee wrote it because they wanted to write a sequel to the best-selling whatever and whatever. Like, I don't think so, honestly. I mean, they've had videos of her receiving copies of the book and being happy with it. She made a few comments. Not very many, but, I think whether she wrote it or not is important. And they had guts for releasing it, honestly. Especially in the world we live in today, where you can't offend anyone. I'm not saying it's good to offend anyone. I'm not saying anyone's, I'm not, pouring mud, I guess, on groups or whatever. But, like, it's a risk to release this kind of book today. Both with the racial issues in it, like, because with Ferguson and all that, race is still very much an issue. It shouldn't be. Not at all. We should totally be fine, but we're not. And that's what was going on when the first book came out. Changed everything, basically. This might have an effect. It won't change anything quite as much, because no one is really focusing on that anymore. Everyone is focusing on the second gigantic reason this was a risk that I'm happy was taken, was the character of Atticus, because everyone hates that, but it's like, big deal. It's a very big deal. And it adds to the character in a weird but awesome way. I applaud them for taking that kind of risk. They've gotten a lot of backlash. Still, it's selling really well. It had more pre-orders than the Deathly Hallows, I think.